You're third graders. Am I right? You're third graders, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So last year when we came to our building in January, our shelves were completely empty. We had no books on them at all. Can you believe that? Have you ever seen a library with no books in it?
No.
Yeah, all of our books were in boxes. Doesn't that sound like fun?
No.
So I thought that would be a really big job for me to handle, so I asked my students to help me set up the library. And I'm going to introduce to you Rebecca. She is going to tell you a little bit about what I had them do.
Hi.
Can you hear her okay?
Yeah. Okay, well, as you know already, they were in big boxes, and we had to take them all out and sort them in categories from fiction to nonfiction. Animals, history, and weather were a few of the categories that we had to sort them into.
And when we say boxes, we had like maybe 70 to 100 boxes of books.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was great. So then, once we got them sorted, the kids got them sorted into different, what is it called when you sort books? Do you know? It starts with this G, genre. Genre? Yes, so they kind of sorted them into genres, or if they couldn't, they got even more specific and did their topics like Rebecca said. Can we show you a little bit about how we ended up, what our shelves ended up looking like? We're going to take you on a little walk. Here we go.
Oh, you guys, we have to be quiet because if they hear us, the camera flips to us. So listen or quiet so that we see them.
Okay, we're going to start here. Can you see our shelves?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have Rebecca talk about what we've done on our shelves. And this area is called, we call it Bolt area, because it means that anybody can come to the Bolt area to find books that they like. I think in your library you call it the E section. We just call it the Bolt section because we are Lincoln Lightning. So Rebecca's going to talk about one of the books. Can you see? I'll hold it up for you.
Okay.
So this is the bird section. So what did we do in the bird section, Rebecca?
Okay. First we took them and we put the labels on, and then we had to sort them, and we put them in a box, and that is crate, and that is the bird section. This is the bird section, that shelf, and that is where the bird books will go.
And so I'm going to show you because we have two different labels on them. Can you see the labels somewhat?
A little bit.
Okay. This book right here has an orange label, and we put orange on books that are fiction. And then this book, whoops, trying to find my camera, has a light blue sticker on it, and this is our nonfiction book. So we have a book on macaws, which is nonfiction, and then like a book called Hook, which is about an owl, which is a story. And they're all in the same bin. Do you want to show them another kind of section? Do you guys have any questions right yet?
Oh, yeah. What is your question?
Why didn't you just do like non and F like for nonfiction and like F just for like fiction, and then you just put like text.
Oh. Why did you decide to use colors instead of putting NF or F on the spine labels?
because we thought for kids who might not know their letters, like little kindergarten kids, they needed to know that orange is for fiction and light blue is for nonfiction. So we tried to make it easy for all kids to at least identify between those two big genres. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, Mrs. Sandstrom, can you tell us why you decided to do your library different from normal libraries at all?
Well, why do you think, Rebecca? Why do you think we did it this way?
Because it's a lot easier for kids to find books that they're looking for, and you don't have to write down what shelf they're going to be on and the numbers and authors. You can just kind of ask where the section is and look down that section for the right book you want.
Does that help?
Yes.
So, Rebecca, do you feel like you can find the section of the library that you need pretty quickly? Is it you think it's faster?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think, Rebecca, that you have tried new books that maybe you wouldn't have necessarily found before?
Yeah. I read my very favorite series when I caught a glimpse of it when I was walking by, and now that's my favorite area to go to.
And what is that, Rebecca?
Animal fantasy fiction area. And yeah.
So should we take you for another little walk? So we're out of the both, but we'll show you how we put it into fantasy fiction.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. We'll try not to get you seasick.
We'll try not to get you seasick because we're walking around. You know, can make you dizzy.
So here is kind of like our big kids section of books.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of glare there, Mrs.
Oh,
Sand.
sorry. We'll try to put it down. Is that a little bit better?
Way better. Better.
That better?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the history and war section, mostly war. Where we have like the battle books and stuff like that.
So if kids, we have a lot of kids who like to read about world wars or any war in general. So instead of having them scattered all over the library, we have all of our war books together in one area. So if they want to read about World War II or World War I, they know exactly what shelves to go to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Next we'll go to the fantasy. This is Rebecca's favorite section. Okay, can you see?
As you can see, this is my favorite section. They're Yellow books, Guardians of Gullible, and their great series by Catherine Lasky. I first caught a glimpse of this book, and it made me want to read them, so I looked through it, and then a friend told me about it, and I decided to read it, and it turned out to be my favorite books ever.
Is there something else, Mrs. Worley, that you'd like us to share?
Well, can you tell us how you accidentally came across this series? Because you already knew a book in the fantasy section, or how did you find it?
Well, at the time, they were all the way over there where the Bolt section was, and we were right about to leave the library, and I saw the books, because I have another series by Catherine Lasky, and it's about wolves, and they're right above this series stack there. And so, yeah, I caught a glimpse of when I was walking out, I saw them, and the next time I went to the library, I went to that very same spot, and I found the books. So, that's kind of how I found them.
And thought you would try them out?
Mm-hmm.
So because all the fantasy are together, when you read one fantasy book, then you were able to see some of the other ones? Because how are they normally, third graders, how are the fiction normally together?
By
How do you know how they are in our library?
Yes.
But the author's name, right? So is it necessarily all the authors that start with A write the same kind of book? No. Okay. So they put them all together, but so all the authors that write mysteries are together, and all the authors that write fantasy. Does that make sense? Okay. Well, gosh, is there anything else you guys can do? Do you like it overall? Would you go back? Would you do it again? It's been a lot of work, I know. What could you tell us? What advice would you tell us?
As a kid, what would you say, Rebecca? Would you want me to go back to the other way?
No, I definitely like this way a lot better. Makes it easier for us all.
And as a teacher, I think we're still trying to get our books organized, and we can find new ways of organizing all the time. But it certainly makes it, I think, more handy for kids. We find we don't have to help them out as much because we also have signs on the end of our shelves, and we also have labels on our books, so that helps kids out.
Oh, okay. Do you guys have any other questions for our Lincoln Library class? Yes?
How many days did it take you?
How many days did it take you?
Oh my goodness sakes. It took, well, just taking the books out of the boxes last year, I think we worked for about 2 weeks, for sure, just to get them out of the boxes. And Mr. Kelso, who is my library assistant, he and I are still working on putting books into genres like fantasy and fiction because we keep ordering new books, so we have to be able to put them into the shelves too. That was a great question.
That is a great question. Yes.
Some of the things they had green.
Oh, he noticed that some of your books had green, not just blue and orange.
Oh, you guys are very, very clever. Rebecca, do you remember what the green is for? Fiction.
Okay. The green is fiction.
But it's for upper level kids, you know, so it's like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade fiction.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we have orange for kind of your e-books. We have light blue for any nonfiction books. And then we have green for the chapter novel books. That was a great question.
Yes.
What happened? Did you order all those books?
Yes, we did. We got some from Riverside. They shared some of their books from their library with us. So we had some of them, but we ordered all of our books. We ordered like, I can't even remember how many. We have like 10,000 books on our shelves right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I bet you guys have more than that, though.
Yeah, I think we have way more than that. Because look at their shelves. Because they're a new library. They haven't had all of the years of buying books that we have had at our school.
We have old books.
We have old books. Yeah, they have new books, but not as many. And we've got old books, and we've got a lot. So get a little of both, right?
Once, I'm going to show you a couple of other things, if I think I can. Once we found out what genres we wanted, you see that little dragon kind of symbol on their book?
Yes.
So this helps us. My 4th graders, they made the labels for them so that they knew which genre the books would be found in. So if I want to read fantasy, I just have to look for the little dragon, and I know that I'm in the fantasy section. And it also makes it easier for us to put the books away in the right spot.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
3rd graders, we have a question for you, or Rebecca has a question for you. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Challenge. Are you up for a challenge?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, so I was wondering, how can you change your library to be more friendly for kids?
Oh, how can we change our library to be more friendly for kids? Oh, that's a really good project. We might have to think about that a little bit, Rebecca. How can we change our library? What do you guys think we could do?
Pretty much we could get some more easier books for kids.
Good one. Sure. Sure. What are you thinking?
Maybe get some jukebox and organize different ways.
Oh, we could maybe organize a different way. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. I think we're going to have to think some more about how we could do that. Can we check back in with you later, Rebecca, in the year when we've worked on this a little bit more? Would that be okay? Oh, perfect. We'll let you know how we solve that problem. We'll keep working on it.
Great.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sandstrom. Did you want to, are you able to